Good evening. I'd like to call the regular council meeting for July 22nd, 2025, Cobalt to order. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest or the general nature thereof? Good. We don't have any public meetings, but we do have a delegation from One Light Diversity Center, which I've been long waiting for because it was 4 or 5 months ago we first talked, wasn't it? So please come up to the table and fill us in because I think what you're doing is just absolutely marvelous.
Dear Mayor, council members, and residents of Cobalt, I'm very grateful for this opportunity, and so is my team, to come and present about One Lake Diversity Center. Cobalt was never just my main town, it was a movement. It's always been a convergence of cultures, languages, and dreams, born out of the Silver Rush, but carried forward by the people who came here to build something better. In the early 1900s, people didn't just come from across Ontario. They came from Quebec, from Finland, Italy, Ukraine, Poland, Greece, and beyond, alongside Indigenous communities who had mined and honored this land long before the Silver Rush. They came with nothing but determination and built a thriving multicultural community in the Rock Hub. They didn't always speak the same language, but they worked at the same mines, lived in the same boarding houses, and sent their children to the same schools. Together, they turned Cobalt into one of the richest and most dynamic towns in Canada. That legacy isn't just something to remember, it's something to reclaim. Today, a new wave of change is coming. The refinery will bring new workers, new families, and new opportunities. And just like a century ago, Cobalt has a chance to shape what comes next, not only economically, but socially and culturally. One Light Center is here because we believe Cobalt can lead this moment by honoring its past and opening the arms for the future. Brings me to my presentation. But what exactly is One Light and how do we intend to help? I know that multiculturalism and diversity is not something that's slide for. I know multiculturalism and diversity is not something new to Cobalt, but it's important. And it's important for the future that's going to come. Why are newcomers and immigrants important to a developing town? Because they bring in diversity, multicultural perspectives, they act as a catalyst to explore world views, faiths, they help enhance our global knowledge, they maximize the available skill sets at workplaces. Employment shortage is a reality. Increase the creative and diverse approaches of the community. They improve the reputation of the society, such as we've done with Smithsonian Shores, attracting capital, wealth, and investments, business entrepreneurs, boost our social and economical growth. And that's where the township of Cobalt aligns with the Canadian government's intentions to demonstrate tolerance and peace. Project statement. So what is our statement and what do we believe? Our project entails a holistic approach aiming to address all aspects for multicultural and diversity and raise awareness and inclusivity throughout our initiative and empower individuals to be socially active members of our society. What's the rationale? It was 120 surveys that started us in 2022. The common issues across our Northern Ontario that we saw with residents both temporary and permanent, limited relevant resources for newcomers in their settlement, employers' concerns regarding retention of employees, housing crisis in our district, celebration of multiculturalism in our public events, understanding language barriers, and program availabilities for seniors and housemakers. Those with language barriers. Employers are limited on the time that they can provide their newcomers when they train them and to socially integrate them. And professional growth opportunities for international students, such as JobShop. No local events were available to improve social integration, including cross-cultural education between long-term residents and those that were new, on worldviews and faiths, and this largely impacts a sense of belonging. So what exactly is One Light's key activities? We provide settlement services. What does that mean? It means we help with language and interpretation and translation services. We ensure that these individuals can communicate and be actively involved in the community. We help them complete applications for various Canadian benefits. We help with the immigration. We help with library registration. We help with subsidized housing applications, access to resources and referrals, and education across. We help with their stage from overseas recruitment to when they come into the community and want to be settled. We help with social integration services and are famously known for our once-a-month multicultural celebrations. We help with different food bank and food kitchen services, as well as bi-weekly cross-cultural platforms. And we have served newcomers beyond just English and French. We provide a multilingual approach. What are our intentions? Short term, we plan to raise public awareness about the relevant issues. What are the concerns of newcomers, and make a change? Build bridges between long-term residents and the newcomers through the social events and gatherings and educational platforms. Encourage employers, including Electra, to have more welcoming and inclusive employment opportunities. Recruitment and settlement of newcomers, provide inclusive support, and recruit 5 members per year from various ethnic and professional backgrounds to guide One Light and its vision for Cobalt. Seek recognition and support from the town of Cobalt and various levels of government to build credibility and access to funding for settlement. Our long-term vision entails strengthening community spirit by providing a safe space for sensitive conversations, outreach through websites, and targeted advertising that will promote Cobalt in Canada and internationally through our partnerships. Observe and support greater diversity flow and retention. Empower individuals from all walks of life to confidently and access and navigate local resources. Improve retention in Cobalt by fostering a sense of belonging. Achieve formal recognition from federal and provincial governments, and secure ongoing funding to sustain our programs. To be that key partner in aiding with social and economic growth within Cobalt, ensuring inclusive and equitable. So how exactly can One Light and Cobalt join and shake hands? This is how. This is our request to you. One Light Diversity Center's total expenses as per the budget of 2025 is approximately $94,000. But this does not include office space, and it does not include sponsored venue rentals by Tennessee Mutuals. A formal recognition, what we're hoping for to achieve in 2025 is a formal recognition and long-term endorsement. A letter of support recognizing the mutual commitment between One Light and Cobalt. Permission to use town-owned spaces, 3 total for this year, fees waived, access to public spaces where we can hold these multicultural and outreach programs for newcomers. Annual monetary partnership commitment, a modest financial support from the town to sustain the multicultural initiatives and outreach activities. Inclusion in community planning, a designated seat at the table for planning processes related to economic development, cultural integration, and population growth. Promotion and visibility, inclusion of One Light's programs and partnerships in the town's website, bulletin boards, and newsletters to reflect our collaboration. And in 2026, what we hope to see is a continued mutual support and relationship growth, ongoing recognition and reinforcement of the town's partnership with One Light, permission to use town-owned spaces, 6 total, council liaison or representative that we will be directly connected with on a quarterly basis, joint application for funding, and expand promotion and visibility through visual materials. This is our vision, and right now we are short of approximately $64,000 to make One Light the vision of the new, and we are hoping to reduce this burden Hence, any further assistance the town of Cobalt can offer through funding or financing would be greatly appreciated. And that brings me to my thought-provoking conclusion. The question is not if Cobalt will grow. The refinery guarantees that. The real question is, how will Cobalt grow? Will newcomers come to a place prepared to welcome them? Will they see themselves reflected in the community, the schools, the spaces around, the events, the towns? Will they stay just for the jobs or because there is a sense of belonging? Cobalt has done this before. Your story is proof that diverse people can come together to create something extraordinary. Now, we invite you to do it again with intention, with conclusion, and with our partnership. Let's not wait for the change to arrive. Let's shape it together.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? I'd just like to say, after bouncing around so much before I got to my home here, I know what it's like for an English Canadian stand up in new community, new community, new community. And then the last 3 years, I've learned and worked with my friends from Kerala, India, and helped them integrate. And they didn't all get jobs out. Some of them are still here. So, so it's a great service what you're doing, and we certainly have to look at this, you know, and see what we can do to help. You know what our budget's like. It's like there are spaces here. So personally, I'd really like to see, you know, some of your events in town here and meet the others that are part of your community too.
Where are you getting your information that Electra's gonna have a bunch of jobs? Like, have you heard that somewhere? Like, they told you that we're gonna have 50, 60, 70, 80 jobs? Because as of right now, there's like none.
For a job posting.
Yeah, for how many?
According
3
to,
or 4 or 6, 12?
according to my research, 120 is where they're planning to
That's what they're
start.
shooting for, 120?
120, and then they're gonna add another 50, 60, like 26.
Close to 200.
Yeah, close to 200, 300 people.
And they've already
Started to
Started that?
advertise it, yes.
to advertise it and everything else? Okay. Right, right on. Well, I didn't hear about it either, so how's that?
Yeah, it's good. We're paying attention to that in the economy.
Question for you on your permission to use town-owned spaces. I think for 3, what all do you need in those spaces? Would they be temporary, having a meeting, or would they be looking at longer term occupation of the space?
That's a very beautiful question. I would say for 2025, it would be to bring the newcomers here and do some celebrations in the community, do some newcomers orientation programs. At least those 3, and then we can see in 2026 how, you know, with our quarterly review, how that's working and what we can do in the future. And possibly, yes, if there's an opportunity to have a permanent space in Cobalt, why not?
I'm just curious, how are you being funded now? Is it donation? Is it strictly donation or?
Right now, at this time, we have a contract agreement with the city to Temiskaming Shores.
Okay, all right.
So they're funding us $30,000.
Oh, I see. Yeah. And any other money would help. I understand.
Any other comments or questions?
Sorry, go ahead, Angela.
Just, it would be good, like. I'm not sure what kind of agreement we'll end up having long-term, but I think it's always, feel free to ask to use public space. Like, the park is certainly the easiest space to use, but as you have actual activities, I think you should just ask.
What I would love to see as the first stage or the first point you can say is to have that formal recognition and endorsement, either through your social media or your website, something that recognizes that the town of Cobalt and One Light is collaborating. And also a letter of support would be drafted so that we can include that in our funding.
No. Yeah, you were saying that, there was we'd need a total of 24 or $94,000 or 90.
That's your operating budget for the year.
That's your operating budget for 1 year?
That's our budget for 1 year. That our aim, you can say that we're going for is $94,000.
94,000, that's for 1 year. Okay. And that would help, which way, like how is, and that'll benefit in which manner?
That would
The
benefit.
people that are coming in?
That would benefit in making the nonprofit organizations smoothly operatable, so that when the people do come in, that they are able to access Wall Lake
Okay.
Diversity Center. So it helps with becoming an official nonprofit organization that's operating. At this time, we are operating mainly through our selfless hours that we put into Wall Lake. And so that would definitely help in the economical and social stability of the nonprofit organization, which then helps the newcomer sense.
And I have one more question, maybe I'm out of line, I don't know. Approximately how much would you expect out of Cobalt?
That's a really good question. How much could Cobalt offer Wall Lake?
That's what I'm saying.
That's the easier question to answer, I think.
Our population here compared to Temiskaming Shores is very, very small compared to that. Like, we're just a little over 900 people.
Yeah, 984 according to 2016 research, and recently 1,112.
Yes, and a lot of them are children. And 90%, I wouldn't say 90%, but about 40 or 50% at least are retired. So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and that makes it even better, because the whole point of One Light is not just to serve the newcomers, is to make sure that those that are long-term residents also feel the growth and welcome the growth and feel included in what's happening and what the next generation is.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
What Cobalt really needs and what would then help us to help you is growth in the form of people actually building houses in Cobalt. There are a lot of vacant properties that could be built on, which would allow us to increase our tax base, which would allow us to then have money to spend
Yeah.
on anything other than the absolute essentials. And or fixing up some of the houses that are here that are currently abandoned. So buy property and build houses, then we can, you know what?
Then we can talk.
Show what you're gonna say, yeah.
We've had people come into town and buy property. And they gut it. And it stays there for 2 years, 3 years. There's a couple of pieces of property that, and I actually spoke to the people that bought the one. And the gentleman did tell me that, oh yeah, I'm moving my family down here and this and that there. Haven't seen hide or hair of anyone. And that was 2.5 years ago. Because I walk the streets every day when I'm able. Anyways, but the thing is that we need more than just promises. We need somebody to actually do it. We have a high school up there that was purchased a long time ago. And nothing's been done with it. Okay, they started gutting it and they left it. Now it's abandoned. The school, public school behind it, it burnt down to the ground because we had problems. Okay, yeah, part of our lives.
Just take,
So,
excuse me,
My
a couple of minutes, just to let everyone else know, when you have your once a month gatherings, what you're doing.
Okay, so our once a month multicultural events basically is welcoming everybody inclusively from the community to come and engage in the exposure or the cross-cultural learning of different cultures. Very successfully, this year we've had 700 people attend our events in total just this year. Over the course of December 2022, when we started to our research statistics, in January, we've actually served 2,000 people. to immigrate and to Tennessee tourists. And when I look at Cobalt, what I see is opportunities. Opportunities for growth, opportunities for belonging, and I think that with this partnership, there's a lot.
Where are your primary new Canadians coming from? Overseas, or are they coming from the city centers like Toronto that are kind of overpopulated a little bit too? Are they come from overseas mostly, or from the main cities that they've already been here and now they're?
You're very right to say that, there are parts of Ontario that are very saturated and we do see migration patterns. We also see a lot of labor market integration work. And that is overseas, and there's much diversity that has come from overseas.
May I?
Yeah.
This is of particular interest to me because I happen to run the motel in Latchford on Highway 11.
Mhm.
So I've been actively promoting Cobalt as a tourist destination. I personally brought groups, about 15, 20 from Toronto. We took pictures across the road, those on the rock, you have those formations around railway station, showed them places. So my question here is, how actively is this team here trying to promote tourism? I strongly believe that Cobalt has got some solid value for tourists. So how actively, is that something that you people are focusing on, or? Because that can bring in a lot of revenue, for sure.
Well, we have the mining museum downtown. We have the historic society that does wonderful work. Tell us, you can see them on the Facebook site. They're always posting things about their past and the development of Cobalt over the years. Yeah. There's a lot going on. Yeah, I believe the mining museum has a lot of tourists come in there.
Oh,
Do a
yes,
lot
yeah.
of tours.
Three
And,
tours a day?
Charlie Angus actually takes people to the colonial mine site for tours.
Yeah, there's regular tours of
Colonial mine site. So that's active. It's very active and a great attraction for tourists. It's a fascinating place to visit. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The thing is with bringing in revenue and things to town is they do the tour, so they pay their $20 for the tour or whatever, but there's nowhere to stay. There's only one restaurant, which I own. So if I get them for dinner, I don't get them for breakfast because they're gone to Liskeard or Haliburton, right? To your hotel probably. So there's nowhere for them to really stay, spend any time in town. It's kind of like go to town, get out for the day, off you go, you're checking something else out tomorrow. So there's not a lot of, Airbnbs, there's no empty real vacant houses for rent. There's not a lot of things to get them to actually stay and spend their money in town here.
And that's been the problem.
And we don't have any other property to grow. We're kind of surrounded by
Yeah,
Coleman.
we're stuck.
Trapped in the middle.
There's lots of vacant land they can grow on. We've got commercial property for sale.
But promotion wise, we haven't had the funding and the ability to get funding, like for the advertising, like we were able to do back in the early 90s and everything. And that has made a difference, but you go with what funds you can get where when you're a small town. So the economy here is very different than the economy in Timiskaming Shores. For that, well, you're down Latchford. Yeah.
I think this place is a gold mine, not silver mine.
Well, we'd like it to be a gold mine for sure.
For sure.
Even as recent as 3 days ago, I had a gentleman who came for 2 days. He wanted to scout around, look at rocks, minerals. It's more like a hobby. And then he stayed on for 2 days more. And literally every summer, I get at least about half a dozen people who come here exclusively to look at Cobalt as a destination. So there is huge interest.
Oh, yeah.
I personally brought 15 people, and last year, if you remember, there was a team of geologists who came in September last. They stayed at my motel, and I promoted them. I told them the destinations that they can go see.
Awesome.
So I'm doing a little bit from my side, but obviously the marketing has to come from people out here who've got the power to drive things.
Maybe we can put out a donation box. Take a rock, leave $2.
Yeah.
The Pat Rock again.
Yeah, right.
That could swing a lot of revenue for you, for starters. And then gradually, when people come in for a tour, a holiday, they might consider investing.
Yeah.
That's in addition to what we're already doing here. This is my.
Yeah.
Fortunately, a lot of our investors in housing here are grabbing up low-cost buildings. You know, they're from way up down in Toronto, that sort of thing, grabbing up low-cost buildings and doing nothing with them. Renting them out, but never upgrading them, and it's
Or not renting them. A number were
Or not,
purchased last
exactly.
year from the town. And we were excited to see them be renovated, have people live in them and nobody's living in them. And we wish we hadn't sold it to them. Rather have somebody living there,
I just walked in.
because 5 years later, if
Oh,
the
they
roof
got
is
houses.
done,
Now they're, and then what?
tear it down. Sorry, you're
yeah.
right. We're talking the same thing. It ends up being torn down like another house 2 years ago. When a house is torn down, it goes from $3,000 in tax revenue to 200. We can't lose that. We can't have houses continue to be torn down. We need people to maintain. And so investors are buying them and they're not taking care of them. Maybe they rent them out until nobody can live in them anymore and they're so bad. It's not staying.
They come in here, they buy a house. And when this gentleman turned around and purchased the house, he tripled the price on it. Paid it $50,000 and he said he wanted to sell it for $350,000. No good. Can't do that. Because it's just not gonna go anywhere. Nobody wants it. They can't afford it.
So these
So
are
that's-
some of the things we've got to discuss and
We
everything.
gotta
And, And it'd be great to discuss them with you guys too.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Be awesome.
and
Because we'll welcome finance, I apologize.
yeah. I have read the contract that you have with Temiskaming Shores. Went on and read that shortly after we first got together. So we're gonna have to work some more and plan some more when we've got some more time. Yeah. But unfortunately, our good manager here came up with all this stuff we still gotta get through tonight, so. But thank you for coming. And let us know when your next group gathering is.
Yeah, I'd
Yes,
like to go.
definitely. You all are welcome to attend our
I'd like to
event.
go.
We'll post it on our site or something.
Yeah.
Yes, and certainly anything you want posted, just get it through to the town office and it can get up on our websites and everything. With students coming in, I know I'm gonna have one new one coming.
We've actually already helped, even though we don't include it in our statistics, we've already helped Cobalt with some migration that happens between Southern Ontario and here. And there are a few newcomers in the community who will recognize one.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
And thank you. And we will
Thank you
have-
very much. The guys did a great job. Thank you.
Thanks.
Good evening.
You too. You're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting. if you-
Boring.
No, it just shows you what the problems are trying to run a small town.
It would probably give you a heads up on something. It's up to you. It's
Have
up
a good
to
one.
you.
Okay,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Thank you very kindly. Very kindly.
Other one who's hiring stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really fixed it up. Okay. So on to, we've got that. Adoption of meeting agenda.
We're at number 5.
No, no, one. This page, paper, sorry. Draft motion, be it resolved that council approved the agenda of the regular meeting dated July 22nd, 2025 as presented, and I'd like to give you one correction in here. Bylaw 2025-07-22-02 the user fee bylaw, that's over in 10.2. There's the second paragraph down. It's a typo error, so it's 2025-07-22.02 for the staff report. Could I have a mover and a seconder for motion now? Okay. Counselor Wood, Counselor Hunter. All in favor? Carried. Okay, adoption of previous council minutes, draft motion, be it resolved that council approved the following minutes as presented. It's regular council, meeting of council, June 24th, 2025. Mover and seconder? Councilor Fleur, Councilor Starchuck. Anything in there you saw you wanted to discuss or change? All in favor? Carried. Staff reports. Be it resolved that council accept the staff reports as presented. Did a mover and seconder on those? Councilor Fleur, Councilor Hughes. All in favor? Okay. No, we'll vote afterwards, sorry. Discussion. So, number 7.1, the bylaw enforcement report. That's.
Gilbo, Gilbo,
June 25. And Cobalt Public Library minutes, is there anything in there? Councilor Hughes?
no,
Okay. Staff report 2025-07-2201. Which is bylaw 2025-22, amendment to user fee bylaw 2023-33, the water services. Yes, sir.
Back on March 4th, 2025, the town of Cobalt entered into a 3-year agreement with the township of Pullman for the sale of water for the Pullman water distribution system. And that was by bylaw 2025-07. Council was provided with a staff report with a recommendation to adopt it. And to amend, then we were to amend the town of Cobalt user fee bylaw to include a delivery charge for Coleman. And this just offsets everything to zero gain. So staff is recommending that council pass bylaw 2025-22, amending the town of Cobalt's user fee bylaw 2023-33 to include the delivery charge for Coleman that encompasses all the charges to be cost neutral. And that fee would be $29.05 per month, and tax is $51.30.
Does that include in the winter time?
That's, yeah,
Okay.
so that's what staff is proposing. So everything would be cost neutral with Coleman Township for delivery of water.
That's $2,905 a year.
Will be here. Like currently Coleman has 3 additional charges on their water bill. It's a delivery charge, reserve fund, and then a min charge. This here would offset those costs to neutral, so 0.
Okay, I see what you're
So
saying.
there's no gain on either side here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's no.
Misunderstood, so.
And I skipped over kind of bylaw enforcement. Do you have anything you want to say on that? Nope. Okay, then we're down to 7.4, staff report 2025-07-2202. And that's bylaw 2025-22, and that's the amendment to user fee bylaw 2023-33, and that's the animal control fee. Fees, not please. And I believe, is that the one that's got the yellow changes in it?
No.
No,
Now speak on this one.
yes, you may certainly.
Actually, right now, our animal control bylaw user fees are not actually in our user fees as a whole, so it's separated. It was in our
Right.
animal bylaw. Here, this would actually be in our user fees. So if anyone in public wants to see what our user fees are, they will even find the animal control costs that are outlined here in your report. So that was the main item here for that. So. Okay, that's already here.
And 7.5, staff report 2025-07-22-03, the variance.
Well, here we are, already more than halfway through the year. So to give council an update on quarters 1 and 2, so this is until the end of June 30th. Here. So tell you quickly here for revenue. Everything right now is actually on par. There is nothing that's outside of that. Quickly go through this, like for the Fraser, the rentals, there's going to be a negative variance of approximately 3,000 at this time. While Silverland Cemetery, a positive variance of approximately 3,800 by year end due to higher than anticipated sale of the columbarium. And other fees here, we have a number of items right now sitting on gov deals. To sell, some of would include the old fire truck. Expenses here right now with the general government, no variances from the budgeted figures at this time, municipal buildings. We're overlooking a number of things there right now. Fire department, again, no variances. Public works, no variances. Razor, sewer, and water. Waste management, net under expenditure due to a 2024 landfill reconciliation. That's must be shorts of 11,134. Even though we have not received our 2025 reconciliation yet, we paid the 2024 rate until July, so we're waiting to get that. Social services, economic and business development, again, no variances. Culture and heritage. No variances as well. Public safety, recreation. The parks. It's a net over expenditure right now of $1,000 due to the park washrooms fixes and lawnmower parts expenditures. As we're talking about the parks here, the washrooms are now closed due to vandalism. They will only be open up. In fact, I was down there a couple times. There's been more than one instance in this past week of damage down there. And even with the doors locked, there's damage now to the doors.
You got a camera set up down there, maybe?
We're looking at a number of things right now to see, but it's very difficult with these times right now with the, I hate to say it, but almost with the catch and release. And
Yeah.
we're not the only municipality, other municipalities are facing troubles that we are right now, so. Projects here, trackless, reflecting no variances. Preservation of the heritage sites, paused on time because we could possibly see a net over expenditure due to possibility. Official plan update, it's paused because we're still getting the provincial government reviews of the plan. Traffic road rehab project, no variances, wetland renewal, rehab, some limited capacity, as well as upgrades to the filters, UV valve service lines outside our water plant, no variances. As well as the water plant drive influent valves project, and no variances are right now. If you look at your next page, you will notice our 2025 budget, our 2025 actual, and our 2024 actual at that same timeline. So right now, if you compare our actuals from 2025 to 2024, our revenue is lower, but at the same time, our expenses are also lower at this time this year than it was last year. So we are on track for our revenues budget and our expenses. We don't know what tomorrow brings.
We all know.
We still have to be invoiced for a number of the projects, but a number of those projects are funded, so. Right now, we are on par is what the budget committee worked hard with earlier this year. And staff and public administration and public works have been really, I'll give credit where credit is due, has been tightening the belt and double guessing every purchase right now to make sure it's a purchase that is required.
Thank you. So,
Can I have one question?
Certainly.
I know, I believe it was mentioned what was going on in the alley back there. Can you refresh my memory why what were they digging up?
Right there is a water break.
Oh, there is a water break?
Yeah, and we are continually working with Aqua on this to try to find the exact.
I was just curious what they were doing now. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go down there. The trucks are there. Didn't go very far. Thank
okay, thank you. Now, so now we vote on accepting all those the reports. All in favor? Thank you. Carried. So, number 8 is items for council consideration. We don't have any. Number 9, items for council information. Be it resolved that council accept the items for council information as presented. Mover and seconder. Okay, Councillor Starcheck, Councillor LaFleur. And we have one from Northeastern Public Health, their regular minutes, and TMSA for regional bylaw officer trainings. Do you have something on that one?
Yep, for the TMSA, just to give council update with that. The TMSA, we're looking to have 18 out of 21 municipalities signed up for the trial for this bylaw officer. Right now, we're at 19. So the next step, so they have reached that milestone. So right now, the next steps, TMSA will be calling a meeting, getting an agreement drafted for the regional bylaw officer, one, and then once approved by the board, it will be sent to each council for approval. So that's the next steps that we're at.
So, thank you. Okay, so all in favor of accepting the information? Thank you. Carried. Now, on to number 10, bylaws and agreements. 10.1, bylaw 2025 to regulate the keeping of animals and the registration of dogs and cats. Draft motion, be it resolved that bylaw 2025-23 being a bylaw to regulate the keeping of animals and the registration of dogs and cats within the town of Cobalt be read for a third and finally passed this 22nd day of July 2025, and further that the said bylaw be signed and sealed by the mayor and clerk. Moved by Councillor Hughes, Councillor LaFleur. Discussion? Everyone happy with, so yes, you do. have
One reminder, I want
Mhm.
council, this does not contain the exotic animals. That will be a future bylaw that staff is preparing. So that does not include exotic animals in this bylaw.
Yes.
So what does it mean? It's all fair game? Now everybody can have it?
I got a tiger.
So you can have exotic animals.
Presenting one to council later this year.
No, but I mean, right now, if someone decided to get an animal, exotic animal.
So it's not under our bylaws.
Okay.
So somebody walks down with a tiger or on a leash.
That's a cat.
Meow. That's something fun.
Frowned upon.
Yes, be frowned upon, but dogs and cats, it's a cat. Okay, yes, Councillor Hunter.
I mean, we continue to have Appendix 1, the Provincial Offences Act set fines. with a large list of fines that I don't think were ever administered. Do we actually, like, I'm fine with passing a bylaw, but I want our bylaws to actually mean something. So are we going to actually start upholding any of these bylaws, and who's going to actually, you know?
I have spoken to our animal control officer to start enforcing it as per council's direction. From our last meeting, that was the direction I had given.
And that direction was,
To enforce, that would be the discussion one chance, and then the enforcement would be kicked in.
it's nice to say that for anybody who might be looking in.
No.
Yeah.
I,
How much of this bylaw can be enforced by our bylaw officer as well?
I would
Because
have
it is
to
bylaws, so it
just
should
double
be.
check as,
Because maybe when this guy gets his new training, that could be part of his training.
that would be an agreement that would have to go through the regional, because under that job description for the other municipalities. But right now we have an animal control officer, and we also have our bylaw officer.
I know.
So, but they do work hand in hand.
Okay. All in favor of passing it on the third, for the third? Opposed? Carried. Excuse me. 10.2 bylaw 2025-22 to adopt amendment number 7 to user fee bylaw 2023-33. And that comes from staff report 2025-07-2201 and 2025-07-2202. Read the draft motion and then you can have a discussion. Whereas council received staff report 2025-07-2201, recommending a water delivery charge for Coleman to encompass all the fees charged by Coleman to be cost neutral. And whereas council received staff report 2025-07-2202, recommending the incorporation of the animal control user fees into the central user fee bylaw. Now therefore be it resolved that bylaw 2025-22, being a bylaw to adopt amendment number 7 to user fee bylaw 2023-33 for the town of Cobalt, be read a first, second, and third time and finally pass this 22nd day of July 2025. And further that the said bylaw be signed and sealed by the mayor and clerk. We have a mover and a seconder, please. Councillor LaFleur, Councillor Hughes. Any discussion or anything further? Do you want? Oh,
If you look over your user fees, since this is a new line item, so if you continue through, you'll notice it in yellow. And that was what was discussed earlier, the delivery charge for the water element and the rates here for animal control, and you'll notice the rates for 2024 and 2025 are the same. And the 2026 rates are subject to review that will be brought up.
thank you. All in favor of accepting this bylaw? Opposed? Thank you, Carrie.
Mind approving it either. Don't mind approving it either.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay. We have nothing under unfinished business. 12, new business, schedule of accounts. Now, anything in there or anything you want to mention?
The largest fee in there was our insurance, which will take effect May 2025 to May 2026 of $153,987.32. That's why it's so large on the very first schedule there, of our 396,729.66.
That's for the year. I seen somewhere over here, it's a bunker insurance call as well, bunker insurance claim service call. What else are we on the hook for? Is that for $10,000 you have to look for that?
Yeah, well, that will be,
I don't
go
go
on with that.
the next couple of months.
Yes.
Okay.
I was gonna ask a question about one of the items there, the bunker, is it, they'll fix the problem there?
It's ongoing.
Oh, it's ongoing.
Yeah,
Okay.
right now, the sewer backup that occurred there has been fixed,
Okay,
but right now it's renovation to the,
so it's remaining closed, is it closed?
yeah, there has to be, work to be done.
Okay, all right.
For the structure. Okay.
Okay, so draft motion, be it resolved, the council receives the following schedules as presented. Schedule number 2025-12 in the amount of $396,729.66. Schedule number 2025-13 in the amount of $60,164.29. I have a mover and seconder on that. Councilor LaFleur, Councilor Wilcox. I did see a fingers in it. Oh, thanks. Okay, and all in favor? Carrie, thank you. Mayor's report. Because mayor's not here. We don't need that. Number 14. Draft motion, closed meeting. Be it resolved that council convene in closed session as per section 239 of the Municipal Act 2001 as amended in order to address a matter pertaining to subsection 2A, security of the property of the municipality or local board. 2B, personal matter about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees. 2F, advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose. 2I, a trade secret or scientific, technical, commercial, financial, or labor relations information supplied in confidence to the municipality or board. And 3B, an ongoing investigation respecting the municipality, a local board, or a municipally controlled corporation by the Ontario Ombudsman or municipal ombudsman appointed under the Ombudsman Act and the Ombudsman or closed meeting investigator appointed under the Municipal Act 2001. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? And Councillor Hughes, Councillor Star Trek. Yep. Okay. All in favor of going in camera? Carried. Thank you. And we will not be coming back online afterwards, so. Thank you for all that sign in and listen to our council meeting. And yes, would you like a 10-minute release?
Would you?